What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I've picked up a lot of great fragrances this year. Some were sent to me. A lot of them I purchased. I've bought a lot of fragrances in the last couple of months. And I kind of want to narrow it down to my 10 favorites. Now, some of these may surprise you that this makes the 10 favorites. And you'll be like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? Doesn't mean I like any other fragrances less. I have to preface this to kind of navigate through the random comments that are going to come from this. But I have to say, some of these won't surprise you because I've really been digging these particular fragrances, and I've been giving them a lot of praise so far this year. So let's dive into these 10. Stay tuned. Starting with the newest addition to the Stronger With You line. This is Emporio Armani Stronger With You Amber. I'm a big fan of this one. So I missed out on the first two stocks from Fragrance Buy. Third go round, I grabbed it. This one has the red hot spice with, oddly enough, a similar opening to Instant Crush. I find a little bit of this floral tone with this burnt sugar smell. Still has that ambery warm accord going for it, as the name would indicate. A little bit of the dry chestnut in the dry down that the DNA is known to have. Plenty of cinnamon. Like I said, it's a fiery hot cinnamon. It gives you a 3-note breakdown, but I'll tell you what, there's more going on here. Performance is great on this one. It's definitely on the sweeter side, but it's still very warm and spicy. It's aromatic, it's floral. There's a lot to love about this fragrance. My wife is a huge fan of this one, as am I. Literally the last like 2 or 3 days is the first stretch since I got this bottle that I haven't sprayed it on my arm at night. I haven't even done a full wearing. I literally just do a random spray on my arm in the evenings to just kick back, sniff, and enjoy as I wind down in the evenings. This is just such a beautiful fragrance that I think was a welcomed addition, at least for me, in the line. This is good stuff. You should get your nose on this, especially if you like the DNA. It's Emporio Armani Strong With You Amber. Probably no secret that you're going to see this one. I didn't want to feature multiple Manceras because I've picked up a lot of good Manceras this year. But for me, French Riviera has kind of spoken to me the most. This is a very laid-back, casual, classy type of vibe because of its creamy white floral heart with all the citrus. It's fresh and watery without any salty marine accents to that aquatic accord that it has. It's just a lovely fragrance. It's not going to overwhelm anybody. It's not going to make a massive statement with hefty, crazy projection, but it's pronounced, it's present, and it lasts a long time on skin. Kind of all you could really ask for with the vibe that comes with this particular scent profile. I would strongly encourage you checking this one out. I don't know how easy it is to get a sample online. This was a blind buy, but a blind buy that very much worked out. I really dig this one. Like I said, fragrances like Sicily, Melody of the Sun, Lemon Line, and so on all could have went in here. Because like I said, I've picked up a bunch of bucket list Manceras. I've picked up some really good stuff, but the one I've kind of been enjoying spending time with the most, definitely French Riviera. This next one, I was pretty late to the party on this one by several years. I'd never really tried on skin myself. I'd always smelled it on a buddy of mine that I used to work with. He used to wear this one pretty often. It always smelled good on him, but I'm glad to finally have a bottle of Versace Eros Flame. I did a full review on this one not that long ago. This stuff is really good, guys. Any hype that this one receives, I find to be pretty justified. This is a lot of people's favorite version of Eros, and it's now my favorite version of Eros. Previously, the Eau de Parfum was the one. It's still my second favorite, but this one's better. This one has a beautiful zest to it, more so than just a fruitiness, a sweet fruitiness. There's a nice spice to balance it. It's very woody. It's kind of, I guess, smoothed out and slightly matured. Not really. It's still a youthful fragrance, but compared to the other versions of Eros, most notably the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum, I think this one in particular is kind of the most grown up of the group, if there's such a thing with the Eros DNA, because there's a little bit of a refinement in the scent profile. Like I said, the additional spices, the way it nuances with the woods. It's not just all vanilla, mint, and apple. Though you do get a little bit of that in the DNA, it's definitely transformed into something even more beautiful than I think Eros ever was prior to this release. So if you haven't gotten this one yet, you really should. Performance is great on it as well. Get a sample, try it, it's worth it. Versace Eros Flame. The first time I smelled this one was in a blind smelling rate with my buddy Justin, and I knew eventually I had to get a bottle. This was top of my must add to my collection list when it came to Amouage. It was the next one I wanted. And my buddy Joe, shout out to an average Joe, managed to get his hands on a tester and sold it to me for a really good price, like a price I could not get anywhere else for Amouage Overture Man. So it does have the tester cap. I don't have a box. That's okay. That's okay. This is crazy masculine, uber resinous, sticky, smoky, boozy, earthy. It's an ashy type of smokiness to. I hate this cap. It's hell to get off. It's literal hell to get off. Look, my hand's just slipping. There it is. Stunning. Stunning, stunning fragrance. For the Royale XXX launch party, not that long ago, I wore this for the party, and it's absolutely stunning. You don't need a lot of sprays. I did, I think, 4 sprays, and it was very well noticed. Brian from My Two Cents even said, "You're wearing Overture Man." Shout outs to Brian. So very distinctive scent profile, not for everyone. My wife does not like this fragrance, and I just so happened to be going to an event where she was not able to come with me, so it was a prime opportunity to wear this one. It's not something I'm going to reach for even close to often. Very situational fragrance, especially with my significant other not liking the scent profile. So God knows when the next time I'm going to wear it is, but I'll tell you what, I'm happy to have it, and if for nothing else, I like to just smell it for myself, because it's just an absolute head-turning showstopper that's polarizing and not for everyone. This is such a great fragrance. That's Amouage Overture Man. So I recently did a Tom Ford summer haul video, and this is one that I had to add. Now, when I first got a decant, I did a review off the decant, and I liked it. Didn't love it. I thought the original Eau de Parfum was a little bit better, but as time has progressed, I have really knocked that decant down, as you can see by this massive dent. This was a full decant of Costa Azzurra Parfum from Tom Ford. I now have a 50 ml bottle. I also picked up Tom Ford Costa Azzurra Aqua, as well as the Eau de Parfum from the Signature line. So I have 3 of the 4 versions to ever exist. I don't have the private blend one because I don't deem it necessary having the Signature version, but this is just something elegant and classy about this for being a blue fragrance. There's a nice woodiness here from this oak. Very herbaceous with a sharp lemon at the top, and still manages to have this marine facet to the scent profile. It smells of luxury. If there's such a thing as a luxury smelling blue fragrance, it's Costa Azzurra Parfum. Big fan of this one. Like I said, I haven't even really been needing to spray the bottle because I still have some in this decant. I'll continue to spray this until it runs out, but when that does run out, I have a 50 ml sitting here waiting in the wings. So glad to finally have a bottle of this. Not that I was short on sprays yet, but I've been getting there. I spray that one pretty often. So if you haven't gotten your nose on this one yet, you probably should. It's a nice refinement to what typically a blue fragrance has been about. One of my favorite pickups for sure. Tom Ford Costa Azzurra Parfum. Now, not that long ago, I did a 2-part series of live streams with my friends Hillary and Yara, where they sent me these unnamed numbered decants, and I would just smell them, tell them what I think about them, what I get from it, and they'd let me know what they are. So this one was number 7 in the very first video. You can see what's left of that. I mean, literally just a few sprays. This is from Joe Loves. This is Mango Thai Lime. It's the only one I absolutely had to have a bottle of. So Joe Loves, this is a subsidiary separate brand for Jo Malone. This is her other brand outside of Jo Malone. She perfumed this and everything. Beautiful ripe green mango smell, zesty spice, just tropical, not crazy strong, but just an absolute delight to smell. This fragrance is so good. I love the way this one smells. Bought it directly from the Joe Loves website, $155 for 100 ml. Did not hesitate. Absolutely adore this. Like I said, let me get that It'll help focus. This was a about halfway full decant, and I was doing sprays. Gotta love it. Doing sprays pretty regularly with that decant to where I was like, okay, I'm starting to run out of sprays. I need to get a bottle ASAP. So glad to add this one to my collection. I would strongly encourage you to get a sample. You can get carded samples from the house. Like literally, when I made my order, I was able to select a couple of fragrance samples that I haven't dove into yet. But there's carded samples out there if you wanted to try some stuff from the house. I haven't tried anything beyond Mango Thai Lime, but I'll tell you what, this one really spoke to me, and I'm super happy that I added it to my collection. And that's Joe Love's Mango Thai Lime. This next one's actually really, really new to my collection, and I've just been enjoying wearing this one out of the shower. It is a fun, I've said this, some of you will know right where I'm going with this, a fun daytime water park type of vibe with Kenneth Cole Mankind Unlimited. My buddy Chad from the channel A Gentleman's Journey turned me on to this one, recommended it so we could do a collaboration review on his channel, and I've just been digging this one. Beautiful watery orange, zesty spice, and soft wood. Very watery though, and the vibe to this one. The bottle and color scheme and everything matches the vibe. This is like a silicone rubber wristband kind of thing going around the bottle, and I think summer outdoor activities, water parks, things like that, because it's so watery and fresh. Variety of orange here, but literally the color matches because it's dominated by orange at the top. It's nothing crazy complex. It's not the most original fresh fragrance out there, but damn, I really enjoyed it. It doesn't remind me of any one specific fragrance, but I do get kind of the feeling and the vibe of a Dior Homme cologne, a Mercedes-Benz cologne. But instead of lemonade, it's fresh orange smell, just so watery, mouth-watering, and casual. Super, super casual. Youthful, but not too youthful. This would be a great addition for anyone's collection on a budget, just looking for a new summer fragrance to add to their wardrobe, something fun to just wear on a hot day. Like I said, this one might surprise a lot of you that it's here. I just got it in like a week ago, and I've worn it almost every single night since I got it. Just some good stuff. Worth giving a try. Kenneth Cole Mankind Unlimited. Now, this is the newest release from this house. This was sent to me, and I'm so glad they sent this one to me. I can't stop smelling it. I haven't put it in its box, back in its box since I got it. It is from Parfums Micallef. This is Gin Tonic. I'm a big fan of this one. Doesn't have juniper, doesn't have a tonic water accord, but it sure smells like it does. Lime, other citrus obviously, but bright lime, zesty and crisp at the top. This is such a good one. Cocktail party fragrance. That type of vibe. Fun, spicy, but mega fresh, mouth-watering, juicy. Has a little bit of an alcoholic type of vibe without any notes that would indicate that. Like I said, not even juniper to give the gin smell, which it clearly has. Slightly above average performer. Just a fun fragrance. A fun, fresh fragrance that very distinctively smells like what it's named after. It's mind-blowing to me how they created these accords without using the typical notes you would see to create these accords. God, I still smell it. So good. This is absolutely sample-worthy. If you have not gotten your nose on this one and you want a kind of a different niche freshie that's not challenging in any way, but it just doesn't smell like all the other niche freshies that I've seen come out, at least that I've gotten my nose on in the last year or two. I think it's a refreshing offering from them. Red Colorado was the previous release, which was fantastic. But this is a huge departure because there's nothing animalistic. That was leathery, smoky, ambery, a little dry. Whereas this is just fun, fresh, bright, invigorating, and super mood boosting and uplifting. This is good stuff. I'm so glad I have a bottle of this. This is from Micallef. This is Gin Tonic. This next one, literally maybe 3 days before I came across it at Raw Stress for Less, my buddy Joey Canoli recommended this one to me on one of his streams. It is bright, sharp, zesty citrus with creamy white florals. The freesia here really adds to the freshness, a little bit of jasmine, but it doesn't really have much of a feminine tone for being a nice white floral heart. It is Calvin Klein's CK All. I've been back and forth with this one since I got it. I go through spurts of wearing it, then a few days will pass and I won't touch it, and then I'll wear it again. Whether it's to the gym, casually during the day, out the shower in the evenings. It is just a great summer fragrance. Picture the CK1 Summer Flankers with a little bit more depth to it and a little bit more staying power. I get about 4 to 5 hours on my skin with this one, which may not sound remarkable, but when you compare it to the CK1 Summer Flankers, which is 2 to 3 hours at best, then it becomes remarkable, right? So like I said, bright, zesty citrus, creamy florals in its heart. It literally comes down to being that simplistic, two-dimensional, but so good. 20 bucks for 100 ml, 30 bucks for a 200 ml. Even some places you can 25 bucks for a 200 ml. You can spray it heavy, you can refresh, you can just bathe in this, live in the sillage, have a good old time. It's perfectly unisex. It's a fragrance you can share with your significant other. It's just one of my favorite cheap pickups of the year. Might even be my favorite. It clearly is. It's one of the 2 cheap fragrances in this video. Therefore, it makes it one of my 2 favorite cheap pickups of the year. It's just a goodie. Calvin Klein CK All. And this last one, this makes 2 fragrances in this video that were sent to me. I was super hyped for this to come out. It was not what I expected it to smell like, but I'm so glad that the opening is the way it is because it makes it such a departure from the other 2 versions of Elysium. This is Roja Parfums Elysium Eau Intense. I'm quite the fan of this one. There's this bitter, almost sour-like rhubarb at the top. It's a strange opening. Dries down to the Elysium DNA, don't get me wrong. But I like that about it. It's just so herbal and bitter at the top. It's so different. This falls in between the Parfum and the Parfum Cologne for me. I still think the Parfum Pour Homme is the end-all, be-all, best version of Elysium, but I do prefer this to the Parfum Cologne. It's not as mass appealing, and some will disagree with me on that. This is just my opinion. But, man, I like it. I like it. It's just so different. Wife's a big fan of this one as well, especially once it starts to dry down. This is good stuff. Absolutely sample worthy, not blind buy safe in any way, shape, or form. There's mixed reviews about this one for a reason, because that opening is a little polarizing. It's not going to be for everyone. I called it from the start. I said, oh, there's some people that are going to hate on this one. And sure enough, I've seen a little bit of hate for it. I've seen plenty of appreciation as well, because it's such a unique turn and take on the DNA, because it's still Elysium's DNA. But balanced totally. The rhubarb is the star of this top note. It adds this bitter herbal, slightly sour tone at the top, which may sound strange when I'm talking about a version of Elysium, because it is strange for a version of Elysium. That's actually what I like about it. It's not more of the same. It's not ultra redundant if you have the other 2. It's actually the least redundant. If you have one of the other 2, you can totally add this one to your collection, because it offers kind of a different feel. This is more of an enthusiast take, less of a crowd pleaser, if you will. It's got more nuance. Super happy to have it. It's Elysium Eau Intense. Well, at this stage of the year, these are kind of my 10 favorite pickups thus far. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. What have you tried of these 10 pickups? What do you think about them? What are you interested in picking up? I'll try to have links down below for everything if you're interested in grabbing any of them. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these 10 and you give them a spray now, there's a real good chance you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.